I have an agenda for today's show, and that is I'm going to accomplish two things. The most important thing is to talk about this speaker. This is the Triangle Borea BR04. And it's a very affordable, terrific sounding speaker. But I'll get to that in just a second. The other thing I have to accomplish is to tell you that I will be appearing at the Axpona Audio Show this coming weekend, April 11, 12, 13. And I will be doing a seminar on the 12th. That's a Saturday at 12:45. And there's no extra charge to see me, that's for sure. And if you don't get to the seminar, but you see me at the show, please say hi. Anyway, back to the Triangle BR04. Or should I say, the BR03. Now, a couple of years ago, the Triangle BR03 was kind of a sensation. Everybody was talking about it, got rave reviews from nearly everybody on the planet but me. And it's not that I didn't want to, it just didn't work out timing-wise. So I missed that one. So when I heard about the BR04 coming out, I said, I want that one. And I am so glad I requested it. First of all, it is affordable. They sell for $559 a pair in a bunch of different finishes. I'll tell you about that very soon. But yeah, $559 a pair, which kind of surprised me because, well, the 03, which is still in the line, is $459 a pair. And this one is bigger. But anyway, it's a great price for this kind of quality. It's a two-way stand mount speaker. It has a 25 millimeter soft dome tweeter set in a pretty deep waveguide. And that part of the speaker of the 04 is exactly the same as the tweeter in the BR03. Now the BR04's woofer is almost the same as the BR03's woofer. They're both 6-inch cellulose, aka paper cone drivers. This one has a slightly different profile of the curve of the driver itself. But other than that, they're pretty much exactly the same thing. The crossover is different. The crossover on this speaker, it occurs at 3.2K, which is slightly higher than the one in the BR03. And the quality of the parts used in the crossover on the BR04 is said to be, well, it's better quality in the BR04 than the BR03. As you can see, it is a ported design. And the BR03 was also ported, but it had two front-firing bass ports. This one has one larger bass port. And they tell me, the engineers tell me, that this port has smoother airflow because it's a bigger port, bigger in diameter port. You look at the back side of this speaker, and you'll see it has bi-wire connectors, and these connectors look really good quality. So if I didn't know the price, because I've been in this reviewing game for a very long time, if I didn't know the price of the speaker and I was just going to guess, I would have guessed about $750, $800 a pair. So to see that it's $559, that is really, really nice. And of course, well, it does come down to sound quality. And the sound of this speaker is, the very first thing I noticed is the tonality of this speaker. It's a beautiful, warmish sounding speaker. Very easy to listen to for long periods of time. No, not a hint of listening fatigue after 3 or 4 hours of listening, just continuously listening to it. So that, again, in this price range, that's a rare feat. As for the bass, now Triangle says the bass goes down to 44 hertz plus or minus 3 dB. I did not get that low a bass out of the speaker in this room. It was more like a 50, 52, 53, mid-50s. So that's pretty deep. I certainly didn't feel a need to add a subwoofer, but as usual with smallish stand-mount speakers, if you like deep bass, you're going to add a subwoofer. Now, speaking of bass, Triangle does make larger speakers, tower speakers, in the Borea line, and they also make a center channel speaker if you're into the home theater thing. I'm not. So anyway, this is exactly the one that I wanted to hear in the line, the BR04. As for specifications, The speaker is pretty high sensitivity. It's rated at 90 dB. The impedance is rated at 8 ohms, but does dip down to 4.6 ohms, and that means you should be using it, pairing it with an amplifier that's happy driving 4 ohm loads. I used a few different amplifiers over the course of this review. The main one was the SCHIT Ager 2, the newer version of that amplifier. But I also spent some time with the Emotiva TA2. That's an integrated amp, and also one of my mainstay amps, the First Watt J2. And for a comparison speaker, I picked the obvious one, which is the KLIPSCH RP600M two-way stand mount speaker, but with a big horn on the tweeter. It's a pretty high sensitivity design, the RP600M Mark II is. It's rated at 94 dB. And this one is high, but not as high. It's rated at 90 dB. It's interesting, that 4 dB difference in sensitivity, well, when I played them, they both seemed equally sensitive. I can't say that the KLIPSCH sounded more sensitive or dynamically alive than this speaker. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. I started with this album I haven't played in years. It's Arcade Fire's Neon Bible. Now, I loved this record when it came out. It's a CD, actually. And it's very densely mixed. There's a lot going on. There's strings, guitars, and a church organ on this track, Intervention. So it's very dramatic. Yes, that's what this music is doing. It's like it feels very high energy, but it's not frenetic or anything. It's just very intense. And the soundstage was wall to wall, big, wide soundstage. Now, I can't say that the Bro-4s were giving me like very specific imaging detail, that sort of stuff. It's not doing that, but it's very big and big sounding. Maybe that's what I'm shooting for. So then I had this idea, well, with this kind of music, I should immediately switch over to the KLIPSCH RP600M Mark II, because this is their thing, right? So I go over to the KLIPSCH, and I was surprised that the KLIPSCH didn't give me any more dynamic life. It was sort of neck and neck, and if anything, I'd give the nod to the Bro-4 as just being more dynamically alive and holding it together. And by contrast, big surprise to me is that the KLIPSCH sounded, well, too mid-rangey, but there was like a hardness to the sound of the KLIPSCH, and the Bro-4 was more chill, even though this music is very intense. Oh, and the other thing is that the Bro-4's sense of rhythm and pace, just the flow of the music, this like forward momentum of the music, was better handled by the Bro-4 than the RP600M Mark II. Next up was this Peter Gabriel album, and the thing that grabbed me right away was the drum sound. The attack, the punch of the drums was really, really strong over the Bro-4. And again, the RP600M didn't quite keep up with it. No, I preferred the sound of the drums with the Bro-4s. And then there was Peter Gabriel's intense vocals. I mean, they're like lung-popping vocals. I loved it over the Bro-4. Now, okay, I want to step back for just a second. I've been gushing. I want to say the thing about the Bro-4 that makes it work is that it's so easy to listen to, meaning it's smooth sounding. That 25 millimeter silk dome tweeter is not going to bite your ears off. You know, it's pretty gentle. It's a very gentle thing. So even though the music was intense because of its dynamics, it wasn't hard to listen to. But if you're looking for that kind of attack, like a really sharp attack, very high, let's say, delineation of transients, that's something that the Bro-4 is not going to do so well for you. If that's what you need, that's not going to happen here. Okay, so to quiet down a bit, I wanted to play some jazz, and I played this CD. It's a duet with Jim Hall on guitar and Charlie Hayden on bass. And the first thing is that it's a stand-up acoustic bass, and the tactile sense of feeling his fingers on the strings. I could practically see them. It was really beautiful. You know, the size of the instrument was well portrayed. Jim Hall's guitar, acoustic guitar, really, really beautiful sounding disc. And then I wanted to see how the Bro-4 performed, played at very quiet, you know, like late night levels. And it was a pleasure to listen to. I didn't feel like I needed to turn it up to feel the music. You know, I was playing it quietly, not a problem. And I was just enjoying the sound of these two men just listening to each other and making this incredibly beautiful music. So for that kind of subtlety and tonality and all that, the Bro-4 is phenomenal. And then I wanted to get loud again with this 3 CD set from the Specials. It's a British ska band. I guess it's the 80s, 70s or 80s. And they're really good recordings. I mean, the bass is, you know, it's like reggae basically, and it's like pounding. It's a visceral experience playing this music loud. And it also has a lot of reverb. You just hear this space. You know, it's artificial space, but you hear this space around the instruments, around the whole sound stage. And it's a pleasure. And I'm just digging it. I'm playing it, and I'm smiling. I'm saying, I dig my job. When it's good, it's so much fun. It is so much fun to review audio and play with different stuff all the time. So thank you guys for watching. It's part of the reason I get to do it is I get paid for this. Nice. To finish up, I grabbed a CD of mine that was in heavy rotation when I was a hi-fi salesman. It was so good because it's such a natural sounding recording. It's by Lyle Lovett. It's called Joshua Judge's Ruth. And I'm playing it over the Bro-4, and it did it. It had that thing where you hear, there he is, Lyle Lovett, the voice, the body, it's all there. Acoustic instruments sound very, very right. So this is it. This is the takeaway. This is sort of leading right into, so Steve, what do you really think of the Triangle Borea Bro-4? Well, sorry, I got to talk about the money again. If I didn't know the price of this speaker, I would have thought it was much more expensive. I think I said this already. Yeah, like a $700 or $800 speaker. That's what it sounds like. It has that level of refinement and ease. You just listen to it for hours and hours and don't have any ear fatigue. Yeah, I really dig it. Now, is it a perfect speaker? Well, of course not. If you crave resolution, this ain't the one for you. If you need that super clarity and detail and even bigger dynamics in this, it's not going to handle. And as I said, in my room, I was only getting bass down to 50. You know, it's not a specific number when you talk about how low does the bass go. I can't give you the -3 dB, but I can tell you that I wasn't getting much under 50, that's for sure. So if you need that low end, well, you need a bigger speaker, or add a sub, as always, right? So anyway, I love it. I love the way it looks. I didn't use it with the grills on, but I've shown you pictures of what it looks like with the grill on. I think it's a very attractive speaker, and the proportions of the box are really nice. Anyway, I think we're good. And now we'll continue with, you know it, you love it, the Audiophiliac viewer system of the day. Eric sent in these fantastic pictures. He lives in Morin Heights, that's near Montreal in Canada. Now, he was running Harbeth 30.2 speakers, but he recently switched over to the Dyn Audio Contour Legacy speakers that I reviewed here on the channel just recently. He's very happy with the Contour Legacies. Now, the power amp is a Pass Labs XA25. Preamp and DAC streamer phono is a Sim Audio Moon 390. The turntable is a Lin, I think that's an LP12, with the Lingo 3 power supply. The tone arm is also Lin, it's Arco, and the cartridge is a Pure Fidelity Stratos. CD spinning is happening on a Class A CDP-10. The cables are by a mix of Cardus and Luna Mauve. I trying to pronounce that correctly. And the room treatments are by Vicoustic and Spica. Thank you, Eric. All right, we are back. My name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the Audiophiliac, and proud of it. I've been doing this almost 8 years. I've done a lot of reviews, and they're all here for you on the channel, on the playlists. I have playlists of Steve and Herb shows, of interviews with Nelson Pass and Andrew Jones, with a lot of really, really interesting people. So anyway, a lot's gone down on this channel, and there's a lot more coming. I have a review planned for later this month of some very big, and yes, very expensive speakers that I have wanted to have these speakers in my room for years. So there's a new model just coming out, so now I'm actually going to do it. And I am totally pumped. Again, it's why I love my job. I get to play with this stuff. Anyway, so stick around. More good stuff to come. But anyway, if you dig what I do on the channel, please consider joining my Patreon. The address is on the screen. You can join for a couple of bucks a month, up to $50 or $100 a month. And at the top 2 levels, you and I will have a one-on-one conversation, not a chat group thing or anything. No, just me and you every month at the beginning of the month. So that's it. So thank you for watching, and I truly do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.